Hello, love beams, and welcome back. I am joined today with the beautiful Maxine Palmer. And as you guys know, we love a good chat. So today we are going to be talking all about Are You Ready? Okay, so we're just going to have a little catch up because we like doing that. And then it's over to you. Are you guys ready? Trust me, you need to be for what's coming. Okay, so buckle up. Grab a cup of tea, put it on pause if you need to, and come back and give this a watch because you are not going to want to miss this one. Maxine, my love, how are you?
I'm really, really good, thank you.
You're looking well. I like the look today. You look almost a little bit Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yeah, I like that. I can cope with that. Yeah, I quite like that.
Yeah, you're welcome. You do, you look a little bit Pulp Fiction today, so there's obviously a sign in that for us, right? So Matt, let me know what's been going on in the post office this week. People love your post office updates. Honestly, they love them.
Well, because a lot of the banks are closing, I'm getting a lot of new customers coming in. And I managed to get hold of a new sign that says, if your bank is closing, try using us, to actually put outside, because that's taken a year and a half. So I've had all these different people coming in, absolutely gobsmacked that they can pay a check-in or they can pay cash in. Oh, I never knew. And what they're all saying is the human touch has disappeared and did before lockdown. So even when they went into the bank tellers were, they didn't want to be there. You couldn't take, but you couldn't take money out. So like this lady said, she went to take £2,000 out to give to her son to buy a car. And she said, I couldn't just take it out. They wanted to know what it was for. Did I know who I was paying? Why don't you do it through a bank transfer? She said, I didn't want to do it through a bank transfer because he's buying it from his damn uncle. But she said, and the way they were asking, it was like robotic.
Yeah.
So she's obviously started using us, and she said, can I take out £200? I said, what for? What do you want it for? And sort of made a joke about it. And she said, but there's been no human interaction even before lockdown. So to know they can come into me and have a chat, and we do have a laugh, Max, they're all grateful.
Do you remember last summer, I did a live because I tried to take £1,000 out of my bank account. I think it was £1,000. And they asked me what I was doing, where it was going. Do I trust the people? If it goes wrong, they're not going to cover it. Things like that.
Was this Barclays? Was this Barclays Bank?
No, this was HSBC at the time. Do you remember? But I remember doing a Facebook Live, I think it was a Facebook Live back then. And it was a glorious hot sunny day. And I remember sharing this because this is what they've normalized. Go to the bank machine, do this, do that, because they've been prepping us, they've been controlling us, they've been programming us for moving into the robotic era, which is what they are attempting to get us into right now. Okay, and this is what I don't blame that lady. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I go to the supermarket and I'm like, I'd rather go to self-service because I can't be asked to chat to somebody. I'm going to be honest with you. There are days when I feel like that, but more often than not, I will go and I will have a conversation with somebody because I know we leave gold wherever we go and connections are supposed to take place, right? So it's a human need. Like we have to survive as a human, you've got to have connection with people. But how sad that lady, I mean, lovely that she's obviously found you. To have some fun with now, but how sad that people are recognizing now that actually this is nothing to do with lockdown. This was pre-lockdown. Like we've been being prepped for this for a long time.
Well, the conversation started with, "Oh, is this since lockdown?" She went, "Oh no, it was before." She said, "It's like they know." That was it. One lady said, "It was like they knew something we didn't." Like they'd been told that morning, "Your job's going to end today." She said, "But it went on for months." Like when you go to work all full of it and then you get there and you have a business meeting before you open. And so you're already spilling out, projecting, as you call it, onto somebody else, the fact that your boss has just told you off. And you can't help it. That's what you do. And this is how she was describing these two. There were two ladies in HSBC. And she said both of them were the same. It was like, we're here as a job, but we don't want to do it anymore because we know something you don't.
Yeah.
And the queues at the bank are so horrendous. And when you get to the actual woman, they can't do it anymore. You've got to go and use the machine. And a lot of people don't want to do that.
No.
They want to talk to people.
Yeah.
So as you can imagine, I've been extremely busy.
Yeah, good. Well, that's
it's great.
Right? It's good for you guys.
Yeah.
Really
it's brilliant for me.
And have you met any more interesting characters?
No, not really. Apart from I've been offered 3 jobs this week.
Oh, nice. What are they?
All in post offices. In post offices. Yeah. So a lady came in and said, I've been coming in here for months now. I said, oh, yeah. I remember you. She said, it's just her sister works at a post office. They're desperate for a manager, but it's got to be somebody with a personality because the boss is really boring and doesn't allow them to laugh and joke with customers. He's one of those that in out, and the customers have been making complaints. So could I go down there? So I said, well, I won't last 5 minutes with him. Yeah, it was nice, but I can't go and fix them all. And then another lady came in. She works in a post office, but she doesn't use her own post office because she says she doesn't get on very well with the boss. She only does 2 days a week. And she said, why don't you come and work for us? She said, because I could work with you all day. She said, because it doesn't matter what time of day I come in, you make me laugh. Even if I come in the minute you open, you're already laughing, or you've tripped over something, or you're saying, don't worry, I've got to count to 5. The boss is leaving in 5 minutes. Because he does, he hangs around behind me and I go, right, okay, I'm going to count to 5. I want to hear your van start and off you trot, because this is my shop until 1 o'clock. And so she likes coming in. And then another lady offered me a job in her shop. Oh, she's got, it's a combination shop. So she's got loads of different things in there. So she does like bags of sweets for the kids at Halloween buckets. It's like a pound shop that's not a pound, if you know what I mean. And she wants someone to work in there. She says, I think you'd sell loads. I said, I'd probably give them away, to be fair.
That's nice.
I give a lot of stuff away.
It's nice.
So yes, it's been quite fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. And how about Copper Chris? Has he been in?
No, haven't seen him at all. But I did see his girlfriend because I had the dogs last Thursday. So I went up for a walk on the field and she was there. He's been moved. He's moved stations. Right. The one he was at is closing, and apparently there's really, really bad knife crime. So he's had to go and sort that out. Another station, so it's a bit further away. Right. So he hasn't had a chance to come in. But he has got loads to tell me when he does.
Oh, lovely.
Which should be fun. Yeah.
Definitely. So
I'm hoping it's this. She did say he was going to try and get in this week.
And what about any of your other old men regulars that used to come in? I can't remember their names, but you used to have a few, didn't you?
Yeah, don't really see many of them. Not many people, not many of my regulars have been coming in, to be honest.
Oh, they've shunned you.
Yeah, they have. I don't know what for. Who used to come in that was, I mean, we've got a guy that comes in who's gradually getting more and more deaf. And when he comes in, if somebody's, because he doesn't stand near the till, he stands further back. And if people come in behind him, they actually think I'm really having a go at him. Oh. When I go, it's £2.80, Jim. £2.80. £2.80p. Because he can't hear me and he's going, how much is it? And he'll say it about 4 or 5 times. So I have to go, 2.80p. And then he'll just give me his hand and go, just take it. Yeah. But it's a game he does every time. But if somebody new walks in behind him, they're going, oh, she's talking to him. And then he has to turn around. Yeah. He has to turn around and laugh, say, she always does this. And I say, have a lovely day, Jim. See you later. But yeah, people think, God, you're so cruel to old people. No, love, it's a game we play.
Oh, I love that. That's so cute.
But that's about it for the post office. I've had none of my my Cougar Crush has disappeared completely.
I was about to ask about Cougar Crush.
Yeah, I haven't seen him for a while. Gorgeous Greg. Yeah, I haven't seen him for ages, but he was working away. Right. And I haven't messaged him actually. I might message him tonight to see if he's okay.
Oh, give him a little message.
Yeah, and just see how he is. Bless him. Yeah, that's about it really for the post office this week. Okay, so I'm going to share what's been going on with me because it's been quite fun. Oh, the other thing I did was I've started badminton again. Oh, good job. Nice. That's my funny story of the week. When do you go to badminton? So we went last Thursday, first time, me and my friend up the road. She was the one who lost her brother. He was only 40 not long ago, and she likes to do sports.
Yeah.
So I said, well, look, I'm happy to join in, but she wanted to go waterboarding, and that's not me. So she said, do you like badminton?
Oh,
I
Max,
said, yeah.
please go. I want to just witness it once. Please go just once.
If it was anyone else, yes, but she takes it quite seriously. So I would just ruin the whole hour for her. Yeah, I might just say, look, let me just have a go and video it for you. Yeah. You know, in my onesie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she said, do you fancy playing badminton? I said, oh, I don't mind that. Plus, it's a winter sport, so I can go all the way through winter.
Yeah.
So we went on Thursday, little bit, you know, out of sync with it, but we had a laugh. But there were some other people playing on the next court. So it's 2 guys and 2 ladies. And one of the guys came over and said, do you want to have a game? So, of course, me and my friend are laughing because I was like, she was firing it all over the place. And I was running around like a loony. And I said, oh, I can't remember the rules, love. I said, I don't want to disturb your game. No, we'll come and play. No rules, you know, we can just have a go. So we started playing, and the guy I got, really nice, quiet guy. He just said, you know, if you turn it this way, you'll get a better shot at it. Lovely guy. You need to keep it in this square. Fair enough. The other guy, who was with my friend, said, right, let's take it gently, and decided to start showing up a little bit on how to win. So Michael, who I'd got, said, I thought we were just going to, you know, have a bit of a game to get them into it. I said, oh, no, don't worry. I'm on him. Let's go. So he tried to win a shot, but I was already prepared. So I knocked it back at him and won. I went, there we go, you see. I've won. Anyway, at the end of it, after they'd gone to play their match, we carried on faffing about. He came over and he said, just so you know, we're here every Thursday. Now, you're welcome to join our badminton club every Thursday, 5 till 6. So I said, well, thank you, but I'm not committing to a day. We're going to come when we feel we need to come.
Yeah.
I said, I think join the club. I wouldn't want to let you down. And my friend started going, oh, thank you, because I didn't know how to say no. She would have said yes. You know, we had to be there every Thursday. What I didn't realise is the over 70s club. Over 70s, yeah. So I said, well, I'm really glad I beat him at that badminton. But I just sort of sat there. And he said, we've got the over 70s club going for quite a while now. A few people have dropped out, you're welcome to join. And I couldn't even speak. And my friend's just squirming in a chair. I said, thank you, but you're all right. Anyway, we went to book for this Thursday. And we changed our mind when we got to the counter. Went, can we do Tuesday? So we're going tomorrow instead. I can't. Over 70. I couldn't believe it. I mean, they did look over 70. But I thought I looked all right in my lycra. You know what I mean? With my headband on, looking like, what's his name, Bjorn Borg. Over 70s. So we're not doing Thursdays, 5 till 6. I mean, the other guy didn't look. I mean, the women didn't even speak. They were just, you know, happily playing. So Michael was the guy I was playing with, and Frank was the other one. And Frank's obviously in charge. Yeah. But he's very, very small. He looked like what's the 2 Ronnies? He looked like the little Ronnie.
Yes.
Yeah. So he was obviously trying to prove a point, small man syndrome, whacking it over the net. But it was the fact he came over and invited us, and my friend was just like, I would have said yes. I said, well, you'd have been coming on your own. I'm not going to any over 70s club on a Thursday. I've got better things to do. As we were going, luckily they'd gone. He was at the counter booking. And I said, oh, let's do it online. So we're about to go out. And when he left, Helen went up and said, can we have Tuesday? Anything for Tuesday? Now, so you're not doing Thursday, Helen? You're over 70s. So we got out of that one.
Oh, amazing.
So yes, we're doing Tuesday now.
Badminton's good fun.
Oh, I love that.
Good for you.
But the only thing was, because I haven't done it for so long, my hips were hurting because I was running in so many different directions.
Of course.
Yeah, almighty, but it's great.
Good on you. So obviously this time last week was my first day of fasting, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, you were on the colon.
Ladies and gents, just so you know, although this goes out on a Monday, we actually film it on, it goes out on the Wednesday, we actually film it on the Monday just because it's convenient for Max and I. So what's very, very interesting is obviously I just started my colon cleanse. So I'm now on day 8 of fasting, which is why I was on a juice. I was having a little sip of a juice at the start. I cannot explain to you what's gone on this week. I almost feel as if I have been in direct dial-up with the man upstairs, if you believe he's upstairs, of course. My physical body, I am in awe of right now. Like literally, I'm in awe of it right now. What it has gone through, what it has done. Because I've actually been horse riding twice in the last week. And although horse riding, and I've been to Muay Thai once.
Yeah.
So although horse riding, Lucy, you sit on a horse, there's quite a lot of effort involved in riding a horse, for those of you that have never done it. So
I must dig out the photo of me trying to ride the horse. That's hilarious. You'll see then you do have to do other things.
Yeah, on a Tuesday, I ride a very sprightly horse, like very sprightly, loves it. And whenever I ride it, because I've got an electric bottom, it kind of like gives a little kick out, like, woohoo, here we go, it loves it, absolutely loves it. So that's on a Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I did my Thai boxing, which is full contact, heavy going stuff for an hour. And then I actually rode again yesterday whilst I was on day 3 of water fasting, which I've never done before, I'm going to be honest, and I wouldn't recommend it to people, but I actually felt really good for it. It was the fresh air and everything that I needed, I feel. But the horse that I was riding yesterday really needed a lot of legs. Hands, like my arms weren't being worked at all. I could just be really gentle with that. He'd go down on his bit lovely. But my legs, I got off and I was like, whew, I feel like I've worked hard, considering I haven't eaten any food since a week ago yesterday. But do you know what, Max? It's been a really, really incredible journey. My members who have been on this process with me, so I do this through my Self-Love Club membership program, as you know, and my members that have been on it with me have been literally ego deaths all over the place. It's been a really interesting period of time. Noise has been coming up within them for all over the place. But what I found really fascinating is Friday, 9:00 at night, it's my first day of water fasting. Literally my first day of water fasting. Now, if anybody's ever done a water fast before, after a 4-day fast, so you've already started fasting for 4 days and then you go into water, you will know by this point you are a bit cranky because you want a little bit of food, or just a little bit of something that tastes nice, So at 9:00 on Friday evening, my freaking fire alarms are going off. Now, I'm not cooking because I'm not eating. I've got nothing going on in here. And I'm like, okay, what do I do here then? So after an hour of it going off initially it was every about 10 to 15 minutes. Maybe for the first 20 minutes, it was every 10 minutes. Then all of a sudden it starts going off every 5 minutes. Now, I don't know anything about smoke alarms or the way they work or anything. Like literally, I know nothing. It's a blue job in my world. And that's not me being ridiculous. That's just me being honest with you. I don't want to know the ins and outs of smoke alarms and whatever. I just don't. So I decided to message my landlord at about 10:15 at night. And I'm like, hey, have you ever had problems with your smoke alarms or your fire alarms? Because something weird is going on in this apartment right now. And he's like, oh, what's happening? And I'm like, well, about every 5 minutes, the alarm's going off. And he was like, I've never had that at all. And I'm thinking, oh God, what's going on right now? Anyway, it gets to the point where I can sense he's starting to get a little bit stressed, like, oh my God, what are we going to do about this? Because it's going off, and he can hear it. So I decide to turn the fuses off, pull them out the ceiling, disconnect them completely. And I'm like, I'll figure it out. Do you get what I mean? I'll figure it out. What is so interesting is that it happened on day number 1 of fasting.
Well, it was the same time,
exactly
9:45, that all the power went off in my room only.
Yeah.
So I just got into bed to read my book. So I just got the bedside lamp. Oh no, I got the big light on. And I got my phone on charge, ready to unplug it. And it was like, when you turn a television off and it makes that like sort of sound, so it's gone off.
Yeah.
It was that. And I thought, well, the television isn't on. but hey ho. But the light went off, and I thought, oh bugger, the bulb's gone. So instead of looking at anything else now, I went downstairs with all the lights on, everything, people watching the television because I could hear it, got a new bulb, came up, took the bulb out, put a new one in. And then I thought, hang on a minute, my phone isn't charging. The power socket hadn't got a red light like normal. I went, no, there's definitely something different in here. So I put the switch on, nothing. Anyway, I shouted down to Sophie, everything all right downstairs? And she said, what are you doing? I said, I've got no power in my room. Now, we've got an old fuse box, so it's not one where everything's separate. It is one fuse. You turn the whole house off or you turn the whole house on.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went down, I thought, right, I'll go down. I'm just going to sit downstairs for 2 minutes while I think about it. And all of a sudden, I couldn't stop laughing. Literally, I was in hysterics. They said, what are you laughing at? I said, I've no idea. I don't know where it came from. I'm just laughing my head off. Anyway, as I came up the stairs, my light came on. So I walked in the room, the plug socket came back on, my phone started charging, went, very funny, whoever you were, thank you very much. I'm going to bed now. I don't even want to read my book anymore. But I just couldn't stop laughing. It was hysterical laughter, as if somebody just told me a joke. I was talking to myself.
Well, this is
9:45.
Same, right? By the time I'd literally wrecked the ceiling of my apartment.
That was probably what I was laughing at.
I was sat in my bed, or on my bed more to the point, just giggling like, what the hell was that about? Like, where did it even come from? But what I found so funny, and what I obviously messaged you on whenever you told me about it, Max, was you were obviously being told to go to bed, and I was obviously being told, you've got to stay up, girl. Like, there's something that you've got to do, girl.
You're on duty.
Yeah, I know. And I'm bloody water fasting. What an interesting.
Yeah, I'd had loads to eat that day. I was fine.
What is so fascinating right now is a lot of the technology that I'm using, and I'm not bringing this in, thank you. A lot of the technology that I'm using is having glitches.
Yeah.
Things are glitching right now. Like, it's
well, look at this. We've taken a few attempts to get on.
Yeah, exactly. Because things are glitching right now. And although we are in Mercury retrograde shadow, we're not in retrograde until the 26th. And I've never known the amount of issues happen in a retrograde, let alone a shadow retrograde.
No, it's crazy. Funny, but crazy.
Something's going down. Something's going down. Yeah. Are you ready? Are you ready? That's the question we've got for you. Led in very nicely there. So, Max, let's talk about this, because obviously, I think it was yesterday you sent me a couple of images of the volcano that had erupted in Tenerife. Obviously, we send our love to everybody in Tenerife. I don't watch any news, so I don't know anything about this. All I've done is...
It didn't come on the news. It didn't actually come on the news until much later, because it happened at lunchtime.
All right.
But it didn't hit any of the news stations. It might have been on Sky earlier in the afternoon, I heard somebody saying, but it wasn't on like BBC or anything like that until late Sunday night. And it had been raging for all that time because a lot of people have been evacuated.
Interesting.
By the time I sent it to you, yeah.
Interesting. So you sent it to me Sunday afternoon. Obviously, mainstream didn't communicate about it, and that makes me feel even stronger the way that I did when I was the energetic. So, like I was saying, I don't watch mainstream media. I don't really look at what people are doing these days. I'll be honest with you. One of my very good friends, Steph, sent me some stuff, like truther stuff earlier this week, and I went, or last week, more to the point, I've got no clue what the days are. I literally don't know what I'm doing. I literally have got no clue. And I actually said to her, babe, like, this stuff just doesn't resonate with me anymore. Like, I just don't need to see it. And she was, I mean, she's cool about it, because obviously we're all in different places and, you know, we're all dealing with different things. But like, I just do not focus on that stuff. So I know Maxine sends me stuff to bring it into my consciousness. And as soon as I tapped into it, I was like, it's go time. You know,
that was the minute I heard it. I went, hang on a minute, this is a bit too close now. So I did sit with it for a couple of minutes. Then I thought, I've got to see what Lucy feels about it. Yeah. Which is why I sent it to you straight away. Now, if I'd have sent that to anybody else who claims to be in the truth community, they would have gone on to BBC News to look for it. And we don't do that, which is why it makes so much sense to us, because we don't then go and look for BBC News to find out what they're saying. And had it been on BBC News, I wouldn't have sent it to you.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this for me is a real red flag, if you want to use that term, or the language I like to use, is a kick up the arse. It's basically telling us that we need to get ready, because off the back of that news, obviously now all of a sudden there's a tsunami warning coming, and there's a potential risk on the east coast of Florida. I've seen that, you know. So we need to bring this up into our consciousness that we are moving into chaotic periods of times. Don't forget, we've still got the Three Georges Dam to go. You know, we're moving into this chaotic period of time that I speak about in my conscious conversations very openly. I have to be very careful with YouTube and Instagram and stuff for obvious reasons. We're heading into this chaotic period of time, which is the period of time I predicted would be in October. It is time.
But don't forget, there was always going to be the water. Always the water. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think the words were keep watching the water, or watch the water.
Watch the water, yeah.
Watch the water.
And we're literally where the volcano has erupted, you're literally there, and there's the water. That's where it starts.
Yeah.
It's very, very close. So it would make sense with the tsunami, whether it's literal or physical, who knows.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Exactly. So I feel we all need to be exactly what I actually predicted, or not predicted, but what I put in my full moon ritual that I've literally just released a few days ago. Basically, what I put in there was, we are going to be having to have much more, you know, people are going to be starting to ask questions that have never asked stuff before. We need to be open to this, because I believe we are at the you know, almost at the tipping point, whereby the ones that are going to wake up have to wake up. The ones that are not going to wake up are not going to wake up.
Never going to wake up. No, it's too late then.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be too late. Yeah. And we're seeing it. We're actually starting to see it already.
Yeah. Well, we've seen it for a long time, because you know, the divide between the this and the and things like that.
There was always an imbalance there. Now you're starting to see the bigger difference between it, of the people who may have started to feel a bit different about it, to the ones who will never ever feel different about it, regardless of what they're shown.
And what we've got to remember is that this is about consciousness. This is about consciousness. We need the population that are going forwards to wake up. So they are going to have a very rude awakening right now. There are also going to be a lot of people checking out around this period of time. Okay. Over the course of the coming months, people are going to basically be like, I don't want to deal with that. And they will check out. We've just got to love them for their soul contract and just say to them, thank you very much for being here. You know, the people that are asleep, that are never going to wake up, they are going to be the ones that probably decide, do you know what, this is too much shock for my body. This is too much for me to deal with. However, the people that are, you know, the people that have no idea right now, or maybe they've got one eye open and one eye shut, they are the ones that we need to make sure, as they hear these truths and see these truths for themselves, because they'll have no option but to see them. Yeah. We need to hold their hand. Yeah. Because Maxine, I know you sent me a couple of bits, but a couple of other people have sent me a few bits as well. There is actually a lot of stuff starting to filter the mainstream media, isn't there?
Yeah, a lot.
I've seen stuff around Prince Andrew.
Yeah, that's starting to come through a little bit more. Not as big as people are expecting. So I think a lot of people, when they read it, go, oh, I'm still not the news I'm looking for. But it will come out. But they can't just explode it yet, because there are still those tiny little dots they've got to complete before bam.
Yeah, and also right now, because the facts aren't there, i.e. it hasn't been through court, you know, that lawsuits are a thing, right? In this reality that we're living in right now, in this illusion, more to the point, rather than reality, you know, in this illusion we're living in right now, lawsuits are a real thing, you know.
But the other thing that came out was about Buckingham Palace, that they are now going to make it into a museum. The Queen is very sad to say that she will not be going back there. but in order to gain some money back for the NHS, somebody said, but I didn't see that. She is going to open it as a museum, so that a lot of her staff keep a job.
The NHS is gone.
Oh God, yeah,
It's
Well, you said that. God, what, 4 years ago?
Yeah, and the royal family is dismantled as well. So this is just.
Oh God, yeah. Well, we know they're gone.
Yeah, they're just.
But obviously, it's a product name. The Queen is just a product name. They're still using at the moment because that hasn't been released. But that's the latest thing. That's why Buckingham Palace is still closed, because and Kensington Palace is going to close. That was the other thing that came in.
Okay.
That's going to become. They're going to open that up as a Diana memorial thing.
Oh wow.
For visitors, because obviously William and Kate are now going to move out of their Kensington Palace place and move to Windsor with the Queen.
Oh, of course they are.
Of course they are, yes.
Because they were on the same boat.
Oh, yeah, exactly the same one, yeah.
So what's interesting and what came through to me just then as we were talking is I feel as if this is the start of all of that side of the truth coming out, which is great.
Yeah.
But I've also seen or been shown some stuff that has been relating to this. So that lady, Lisa, who was a BBC presenter, they've actually come out and said that she did die of this. And there's been another couple as well. Like people have literally...
Was that the first one? Was that the first one I sent you, was the Lisa? Was she a radio broadcaster?
Yes.
Yeah, another two people from the BBC have come out and the coroners agreed it was that.
Yeah, so this is what I mean now. We are starting to see the truth unfolding. It's not the numbers that us truthers are like, come on, we know the reality of what's going on. However, all of the conspiracies are no longer conspiracies because they're starting to be unwound in the mainstream media. Yeah,
which is where it needed to come out. Because people rely on that so much. So if they're on the fence, that's going to take precedence over what I'm saying or what you're saying.
Yeah,
because they've listened to them for so long. But the other thing I've noticed that people seem to be talking about is their dreams just recently, because you mentioned something about not sleeping last night. We're all the same. I mean, I was helping a rabbit give birth to 7 babies. Where that came from, I don't know. But a lot of people, we've been having conversations about dreams recently, and they're all having memories. Yeah. They're all going back to certain parts of their memories. Now, that is codes.
Actually, I think I put that in my full moon video, or maybe the energy video for September, I can't remember. But actually what it is they're going back to heal those memories. That's what they're doing. It's basically time to heal. You know, everybody is being sent to heal, because we're almost like clearing that line by healing memory. And the best way to bring it into consciousness is because we can get through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds in our sleep state. Yeah. You know, but to your point, Maxine, dreams have been very profound, very vivid, very intense for everybody. Well,
look at me. I was Mr. Trump asked me to be his whore for £1 million. Wow. Pretend whore for £1 million.
Yeah.
He didn't need me to actually do anything, but for the mainstream media, would I be willing to do it for £1 million?
Yeah, wow. I can't even say the dreams that I've been having because they'll probably come true, and then I'll look like I brought them on. So I'm not even going to share them. Do you get what I mean?
I had to write that one down because it was so vivid, because Melania had asked me for a pair of tights. And we're in this hotel. Trump was going to do a speech. She was staying there. And she said, have you got a pair of beige tights? And I said, I'll nip out and get some. And when I came back, I gave her the tights. She took it off. He was sat there and he got hold of my hand under the table and said, would you be my pretend whore for £1 million? And I didn't say anything. And I can still remember because it was a leather square chair thing that I was sitting on. And he said, I don't need you to actually do anything, but I'll give you £1 million if you say to the newspapers that you are my whore, because then it would create a divorce with Melania.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, I think my mum shouted me to wake up. You know, my mum's dead, but she often shouts me to come back down to earth. And so I woke up and went, oh, bugger, Mum, I was with Donald Trump getting £1 million then.
Yeah.
Could have got my roof fixed.
Yeah, it's so interesting, isn't it? But that's the kind of stuff that's happening at the moment, like really, really vivid. And it's because we are getting codes not only in the sunshine, but in our super conscious state. We are being upgraded, we are being leveled up in a massive way.
Yeah.
Our physical vessels, like our brain probably couldn't comprehend what our physical vessels are going through unknowingly right now, because we'd just be like, what? And most people don't get it. Like when I say you're experiencing physical upgrades, people look at me like I've got two heads. But because I see the codes coming in, like I'm lucky from that side, because I get to see the codes being implanted. And you guys remember, I've seen lots of different things happen with regards to coding, but it's time, and I guess from my perspective, because I know I'm here for humanity, I want to make sure that everybody is as safe as possible. You don't have to do it my way, but I like to bring things up into your consciousness, because then you can do something about it if you so wish. So for me personally, and Max, please jump in at any point, I feel we are going into utter chaos next month.
Without doubt.
Chaos. Between now and the end of October, the start of utter chaos will take place. There will be this over here and that over there, and this going on back here, and look over there. It will all be going on. It's going to be a massive sensory overload. So my recommendation right now is take time out, rest, eat good foods, drink plenty of decent water. I always say it, get a few bits stacked up at home. Make sure that you have got some stuff so that you can cope. If, God forbid, the shops don't open for a few days or something goes on, all right? Always have...
I think the thing is, it wouldn't be a case of the shops would close because of this. But if you think about it, the people who are working in those shops will hit the panic button. Because they will not know what is happening. And so it may be a couple of days where they physically cannot serve you.
Yeah.
Because obviously you've got the money system, you've got the card machines, but also you've got those people who work in these places being extremely panicked, frightened, can't work. So I think that would be more the disruption than them actually shutting everything completely down. Exactly. So if you are prepared for that, you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I intend to still stay open though, by the way.
But the other thing that I really would encourage people to be doing right now, depending on your circumstances, is figure out the route that you would take to get to your parents' house or get to your friend's house or wherever you need to be if telecommunications go down.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not saying they will, and I'm not here to panic you or anything like that. I'm just saying, just figure it out, because it's useful anyway.
Be prepared.
How are you going to get there? What's the route that you would take, and how would they know that you're going? Have you had that conversation? Like I've always said to my dad, if anything happens, I'm coming to you. Just you stay put, and I will get to you. Just don't panic. I will get to you. Because we'll just make it work.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, please don't think that I'm saying, there's going to be mass floods here in the UK or the shit's really going to be hitting the fan or anything like that. I am not saying anything like that at all. What I'm saying is just be prepared if, and I actually feel that we've gone on a totally different timeline now. I really do. I don't feel that we're on the timeline where we're gonna have the significant issues that we were talking about. Maybe.
No, I don't feel that. I feel the same. Yeah, I think that has slowly shifted.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't feel that we are going to need to run to safety anywhere. I don't. It's just not the feeling that I get from this anymore. At one point, it was like, oh gosh, we need consciousness up so that we can shift this timeline. But we've done that, and I feel what we're going to. It's now going to be like watching the most horrifying movie that you could ever imagine. Like, oh my God, there's so much going on, where things flood and things explode and this is burning and that's going on, but we're actually living it.
Yeah.
Might not be on our doorstep, but we're actually going to be living this experience. And this is why I'm saying, are you guys ready? Because I feel next month is going to be a biggie. And I've been saying that, Maxine, 8 months?
Oh, at least, yeah. Yeah. Well, no, it's longer than that. It is longer than that. Yeah.
I just knew that October, I knew that September was going to be hot, and it's been bloody hot. And I don't mean from a temperature perspective. We have heard so much stuff has come out about, you know, the children stuff that I've obviously spoken about before and got banned from Facebook for. You know, the royal stuff, this stuff, you know, like lots are going on. The financial stuff, I believe the markets are crashing again at the moment.
Yeah, heard that. Yeah,
it's all going on right now. It's all going on right now, and we must acknowledge it.
But it's just a case of, don't go into panic now going, right, I'm going to go out and do a massive shop. Just get the things you'll need for a few days.
Yeah.
And make that communication that, hey, listen, if the phone lines go down for a couple of hours, I'm going to drive over to you, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Make sure you got petrol in your car. That's all it is.
That's something that I tell everybody. Whatever you do, keep your car topped up.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's always the first thing to go. The prices will spike. I mean, they're so expensive anyway at the moment.
They're awful, aren't they, at the minute? I went and filled mine up last week. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I got nothing for my money. It was 99 pence a litre. It went up to the highest I paid was 106, 137.
Bloody
137 a litre. Yeah. I drove to another 2 or 3, and the cheapest one was 133. Yeah, horrendous.
It's just,
but that's what they're doing. Yeah, just disgusting.
And actually, you know, I've got to be honest, I don't really pay too much attention. I'm in a privileged position where I don't need to pay too much attention to my food bills, but I know the prices are edging up and edging up and edging up. You know, and you've got to think about the people that's wages aren't edging up and edging up. Like how are people coping? And this is why,
and like the people who were on benefits, they stopped everybody's benefits in September. They were supposed to keep it going. So many people are saying, my money hasn't gone in, because obviously they come to the post office to get their money out. And HMRC tax credits aren't going to use the post office card anymore. So they're like, my money hasn't gone in. And luckily, because I've looked into it, because it affected the post office, I said, right, you need to phone them, you need to get your voucher. When you get your voucher on your phone, come in, I scan it, I'll give you the cash, but you have to take it all out. Whereas they would leave a bit in for their bills and take out what they needed. Now they literally have to have the cash with a voucher. It's gone back in time because they won't allow the post office to pay out tax credits because they're going to stop them. And a lot of people I relied on tax credits when I was a single parent. If I didn't have those, I wouldn't have been able to go to work because I wouldn't have had a childminder. Yeah. And this is what they're doing. They're making life very difficult for people who are struggling already.
Yeah. Well, this is why all of this stuff needs to happen. You've got to remember this, because there is enough on it for everybody, but we are so under a spell, we don't recognise that. You know, we all think we need to steal off of this person or get one over on this person because, you know, blah, blah, blah. But it's not the case. There is enough abundance for us all and some, you know, and some. This is why all of this matrix is collapsing. There's no way out of it. The matrix has got to collapse. You know, there's people out there saying that it's already collapsed. I don't quite see that yet. Personally, I don't see that yet, but I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm just saying that I don't see that yet. You know, we're all in different spaces and we're all in different times. I just feel personally right now, we are almost at, you know, Maxine and I were talking about this, should we call it the tipping point? But actually we're not at the tipping point, we're at the bit before. You know how when you climb a mountain, you always think you've got to the top and then you go, oh God, there's that little bit more that you couldn't see because there was
the last bit.
We're at that ledge. That's what I feel. We're at that ledge. It's about to get extremely exciting. It's about to get extremely spicy. You know, we are going to be stepping into a space where we're going to need to unify. Stop having a go at your neighbour. Stop giving a damn whether somebody's taken this or not. You know, I'm not asking you to listen to people that are push of it. All I'm saying is let all that nonsense go, because we need to unify. We need to come together. We need to look after each other, because that's the only way that we're going to get through this.
And regardless of who you're with, you know, it could be a partner, it could be a friend. If they are spilling their stuff on you, just wrap yourself in that bubble, because there's a lot of spilling at the minute, a hell of a lot. And I've seen friends who then to make life easier, agree with them.
Yeah.
Because of the time we're in, I can see it.
Yeah.
And I can't physically drag them out. I can only say, wrap yourself in the bubble. Remember, that's his noise or her noise. You go and get on. You do what this feels. Yeah. If this feels like what he's saying is right, then fair enough. But it wouldn't trigger you if it was right, if you felt it was right. It could be a total disagreement to me. I'm not saying it's my argument, but I am saying in a sort of bullying fashion. There's a bit of that going off in relationships.
I don't think it's just relationships though, Maxine. I think people are bullying on social media right now, and people are projecting on everybody. You know, I'm quite shocked the amount of people that there was a lady that was I can hear some sort of feedback in you.
No.
It was almost like a little bit alien. It was very interesting.
Is he here?
Yeah, well, normally it's from here, right?
Yeah. You've sent him over, same with the power cut.
So yeah, like I was saying, there was a lady on my Instagram channel, and she was saying something along the lines of, "Oh, I really like this lady, but she just like does like she chats too much." And I'm like, "Oh wow, okay, interesting." Now this stuff doesn't offend me, Maxine. You know, this stuff doesn't offend me. 5 years ago, it would have offended me and I would have taken it personally. Yeah. Now I'm just like, oh, you know, obviously she's got something going on and she can't deal with the chatter, which I can relate to a point. However, why do you feel you need to say that? That's what we're talking about.
Come off.
And, you know, I've had other people, you know, message me on Instagram, and they go in my request box and stuff. But I see them come in and it's like, oh, Lucy, blah, 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 like regurgitating their bullshit on me. And I'm like, why would you do that? If I watch something and I don't like it, I switch it off and I move on with my life. Like,
I've got a guy on Telegram who sends me some really cool stuff. It's brilliant. But what he'll put is go to 2 minutes and 4, because he knows I won't like the beginning, because it'd just be boring. And he'll put 2 minutes and 4, laugh out loud. And so I go to 2 minutes and 2, and I see what he's talking about in like a few seconds. But there's a couple on Telegram who I used to follow, I don't now, but somebody sent me one of theirs the other day. And they were so excited to be on that they did chitter chatter for most of it. And so I turned it off because they didn't actually have anything to say. And my friend said, oh, it started at 11 minutes. If you go on 11 minutes, you'll see for 4 minutes, they told you what they wanted to say in the beginning. So I just turned it off. I didn't send them a message saying, oh, not being funny, but for 11 minutes of that, you just waffled. No, I just turned it off.
Why would you? This is the thing. You choose to watch the video. Yeah. You choose. And quite frankly, it's none of anybody's business. Somebody made a comment about what I looked like last week when I was fasting. Bearing in mind I'm fasting, right? And I think I was on day 2 of water fasting, which is the most horrendous day. If you're ever going to do it, day 2 is the most horrendous day, especially after like you're on day 6 of a total fast. And I just thought, wow.
What, they commented on your appearance?
Yeah.
Did they know you were on a fast?
I don't know, and I don't care. It's none of their fucking business what I look like. Like, why would you message me and make a comment on my appearance? If you don't like it, don't freaking look at it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as, like,
But you see, I have noticed that is coming out more.
From school, like from being a baby, I find this basic.
Yeah.
You know, like, I would never go and projectile vomit my views on other people. Like, I choose on my channel to talk about the stuff I choose to talk about. If you don't like it, switch it off. You don't need to announce it over the aeroplane system. I'm leaving the airport. You don't need to do that. Just unfollow and go away.
Lucy Davis is laughing far too much. Having too much fun. I can't watch her anymore. Yeah. She's too funny, yeah.
How dare Lucy be so
feel great.
How dare Lucy be so healthy and be on a 6-day walk or 6-day fast? Yeah. I'm jealous. I'm going to put her down.
And still go horse riding and still do Muay Thai.
But that's what it is, right? I'm jealous. I'm going to put that person down. I don't like it. It's disgusting. Like, get a grip on yourself. You are projecting the way you feel about yourself. Get it together, people. You know? Like,
now, I just thought, you just reminded me, you know, I was saying about those words that were in my old diary, the one that was missing, was procrastinating.
Procrastinating.
I told you I had a word missing, procrastinating. So projection, self-sabotage and procrastinating, because I had to look it up.
Yeah.
And then I went, oh my God, she's talking about me.
Yeah, it's so common, isn't it? Procrastinating.
Yeah, I was terrible at it.
Yeah, most people are. That's why they don't like me. That's why I trigger them, because I'm a get shit done kind of girl. You know, I don't tend to talk about things for too long. I just get on and do it. And actually something came up yesterday and I was like, oh, I spoke about that a couple of years ago, but now's the time to do it. And literally it came out of nowhere. You know, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, so long story short, get yourself ready. Are you protected? Do you have a plan? Do you have food? Do you know what you're going to do if, God forbid, you know, like I said earlier, you can't get to the shops for a couple of days or whatever, or you can't get fuel for a week? Are you ready? Very, very important time we're living in right now, guys. This is going to be the history of the future. I promise you. Our children's children are going to be going, wow, you lived through that? That's amazing. Oh, Nan, tell me your stories. And I'll be like, come on, little ones, let's go.
I think that's why I write so much down. Yeah. Because I don't want to type it. Typing it doesn't do it. Because that's just a job, typing. I used to do it for so long. Writing it down, it means so much more. And I am eternally grateful that I've lived through all of this. I've lived through a lot, but living through this is just off the scale. The most amazing thing ever. And I don't think it will ever happen again. So I'm glad I was part of it.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly not going to happen again in our lifetime. And hopefully, once we've done this paradigm is never going to exist again. So I'm not coming back.
But just to say to people, don't panic. Don't panic. We've been warned. Do you know what I mean? And what are you on about? You're not coming back. Oh, hang on a minute. No, I just heard that there. I thought, no way, mate. We've got too much to do.
I'll be back as soon as
the way you snubbed that in, cheeky.
As soon as we're in the 1,000 years of this like really beautiful light loving energy, I'm going to be here every bloody incarnation I can take. Yeah. Then I'm checking out.
Well, I think we need to come back. We've got to come back as animals, though. I think we need to come back as animals just to see it from their point of view. Yeah.
At some point. I feel I've already been an animal, though. I do. I feel like I was a dolphin or something in the water, for sure.
Oh, right. No, I definitely haven't been an animal before. Yeah, I'll come back as that, though.
There was something in the water for me. But yeah, we're at a really profound time. Ladies and gents, most people are going to figure out that we are at war soon. You know, we've known for a long time. People have been talking about it for a long time, but the practicality of it is coming into people's consciousness very, very soon. Okay, so please embrace this message. This is not a scare tactic. This is not, oh my God, we need to go to panic mode, go and buy all the toilet roll. We're not saying that, guys. Just figure out what you're going to do if you need to. Is there anywhere you're going to need to get to? You know, do you need any medications on extra order and things like that? Just get it sorted, guys. The world that we know in a really good, positive way is collapsing.
You know? I mean, the thing is, for like food and things like that, we would survive it. But I think the worst thing is going to be being able to get in touch with people you need to be in touch with, like your parents or your children or your grandchildren. So make sure that is sorted. So you know your direct route, you've got the petrol in the car, you've got whatever you need to make sure you can go around and physically see yourself that they're perfectly fine.
Yeah. So just so you know, guys, what I have done is I put I went old school. I put a map of my house to my dad's house. I printed it off and I've literally highlighted the route that I would take. Same to my mum's house. I mean, my mum's house I know how to get to really easily, but because I'm in a new apartment, I don't quite know how to get to the road that I need to get to be able to get there very easily.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I reckon my mum's I could figure it out because I know best part of the journey. It's just a little bit that I just have to wing it. But between here and my dad's house, I've got no clue. It's all country lanes.
Oh yeah.
So but again, I would probably figure it out. It out because you know what happens. You do figure it out, don't you? But we are very heavily reliant on our phones right now, on GPS and things like that. So we're bringing it into your consciousness. Are you ready? Please, the next time we see you next week, the answer will be yes, yes, yes. And we will be a few days closer to the month that I am predicting is going to be chaotic.
Well, it's next Monday. Next Monday's the last Monday, isn't it? Last Monday in September. Gotta be 27.
Yeah, it'll be the 27th next week.
Yeah, so that's the last Monday of September.
Days. So next week we are going into.
So next week we'll have loads to talk about.
Exactly. Don't we anyway?
Yeah.
Ladies and gents, it's been our absolute pleasure to host you this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Maxine, as always, thank you, my friend.
Thank
we love you guys loads. Remember, are you ready? Get yourself prepared and we will see you next week. Lots of love, guys. Take care.